Hello guys, today I want to share with you my mother's homemade pasta, homemade and handmade. This is a little bit of a job, but it's really delicious and it's really worth it. We are going to be doing everything from the scratch, so the video is also a bit lengthy, so bear with me. The pasta of the recipe is a plain, so we just need to add some salt to the water. The water is plain, the tap water, and sift through the flour. Crack an egg into it, and then I start adding water part by part so that I'm able to control the density of the dough. I need a tough one for this recipe because we are going to be boiling our pasta, so we want it to be as tough and tight and heavy as possible. So I'm going to be kneading it for some time. It's going to take about 7 to 10 minutes until the dough is really nice, and then it stops sticking to my hands and to the working surface, as you can see it here. And once it's done, you can just form it into a ball, cover it with the plastic and set it aside to rest. And in the meantime, we are going to go ahead and start our gravy. For this recipe, I'm going to need half an onion. I'm going to dice it nicely into small cubes, just like this. And then I need a potato. Actually, you could do without the potato in this recipe, but I think my mother put potato just to increase the quantity of the food, because we were 6 children, and as you can imagine, it's not really easy to feed so many kids. I say we were because we are not children anymore. So this is what I'm going to do with the potato. I'm going to cut it into small cubes. I'm going to do the same with the tomato. I have now 1 medium tomato, and I'm going to be kneading all of it, the juice and the flesh of the tomato. So dice it into small cubes, just like the potato. Yeah, and that's about it. And the next thing, very important ingredient in this recipe is the ghee butter. Ghee butter or ghee oil, whichever is correct. We are going to be cooking the meal in the ghee butter. So 2 spoons of the ghee butter, and then we are going to cook the meat first. So cook the meat until it's kind of evenly spread out, and then add the onions. And we are going to cook the onions until they are soft. Soft and nice. That's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes. And then we are going to add the potato, and we are also cooking it until it's soft. This will also take about 2 to 3 minutes. So the next ingredient to go in is going to be the tomato. And of course, as you guessed, we are going to cook the tomato until it's soft, until you can really remove, or it can easily remove the flesh from the skin. Then you know that the tomato is ready and your gravy is pretty much ready. All you gotta do is you are going to cover it with the water. Remember the water from the dough, the salted water? That will do. If you need more, just feel free to add more, just enough to cover the gravy. Next thing is going to be the dough. Now this is quite time-consuming part. I'm showing the video quite very fast, I think 4 times, yeah, minimum 4 times faster than it originally is. It's going to take some time, so you need all the patience that you have. You are going to spread it until it's about ½ millimeter thin. My working surface is too small for the dough, so I transferred it to another place. And also the dough is a bit too big for my roller, so I'm going to fold it into 2 to 3 parts, and I keep on rolling it until it's really thin. It's going to be almost like paper thin. As my mother says, the pasta must be paper thin. That's her standard. So that's what I'm going to do. And because the dough is a bit big, I can't handle it single-handedly, so I'm going to cut it into two pieces, and then I'm going to roll over. But before I cut it into pasta, I'm going to just flour it generously so that those layers do not stick together, just like as you can see in the video. And then this is what I'm going to do next. I'm just trying to make it easy for myself to cut it. I'm going to be cutting it by hand. So it's pretty much handmade, you know, it's not just handmade, homemade, it's also a handmade. And here we go. This is how we cut the dough into a pasta. Yeah, you try to cut it as thin as you can. Yeah. As my mother says, you know, it has to be as thin as your hair. My father once said that I wasn't as good as my mother, and I think he's right. My pasta is a bit thicker than my hair. I tell you one thing, it's really nice to watch it here, but I cannot say the same about the process, you know. So the pasta is ready. I'm just going to spread it on my surface, on the wood, so that they don't stick together. My water has boiled already, and I'm just going to throw in my pasta. I bring it to the boil, and in the meantime I'll just toss it over gently, just to see and to make sure that they haven't clogged up, they haven't stuck up each other. Yeah, it looks good. So I'm going to now cover it with the lid and give it another minute or so. Yeah. So once you see the the pasta very thin and transparent like this, then it's ready. This is going to take about 2 minutes or so, maybe even less. So before taking the pasta out, I'm going to just splash some cold water just to sober up the pasta. And then I'm going to level it up on the plate, just like this. Next thing is I generously apply the gravy. If you are a fan of ghee butter, you can imagine the smell in the kitchen right now. It's amazing, it's absolutely amazing. So just to show you how thin the pasta is and how nicely it holds itself, here we go. Yeah, and the good thing about this pasta is it's going to stay the same, non-sticky, even the next day. So that's it. I hope you guys liked the video. I thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos.